Hi, I'm Kent Maurer, Senior Field Coordinator for the Coalition to Support Iowa's Farmers. And today I'm with Paul Goldsmith. He is the EQIP Coordinator for NRCS in Iowa. And Paul, with the recent agreement between DNR and EPA on a work plan for Iowa's livestock farms, what funding does NRCS have available to kind of help out some of these farms that need to make changes?
Well, Kent, that's a great question. One of our main programs that NRCS offers is the Environmental Quality Incentives Program, EQIP for short. This is a USDA funded program that's offered annually in the state of Iowa, and then within Iowa, funds are allocated to each of the counties in Iowa that producers can sign up for and try to receive.
Paul, my next question would be, what are some of the necessary parameters that livestock farms need to meet for EQIP funding to be eligible for the program?
Kent, there's several different things that producers will need to go through. The producer really needs to meet with the field office staff and begin that conservation planning process to really look at the resource issues that are there to make some decisions as far as where they want to go down the road. As it relates to livestock production, the important thing is looking at that there's resource concerns there, resource issues, runoff as an example, and then we have different things that we can provide financial assistance for to help to eliminate those runoff issues and improve that situation. But the key thing is starting at that field office and working with that field staff to work through that application, the planning process, then the application process, and then the implementation phase.
A lot of questions I get when I meet with farmers is, can young farmers apply for EQIP funding?
Kent, that's a question I'm really glad you asked about, because we do have funds that we earmark to beginning farmers. The EQIP program nationally has a mandate that 10% of our funds are set aside for historically underserved applicants. Within that category, beginning farmers is one of the criteria or one of the categories. And typically in Iowa the last few years we've been spending close to 80% of those funds that we set aside on beginning farmers. And most of those would have to be individuals that have been in farming for less than 10 years. That's the criteria. There's a place on our website you can go and actually run through a quick self-certification to make sure you meet that criteria. But that is specifically for the beginning farmer to try to help that young person trying to get started in farming.
Another question would be, I know you touched on it earlier, but where can farmers go to find out more about EQIP funding? When
you're looking at the EQIP program, we have a lot of information on our website. If you Google USDA NRCS Iowa, you should be able to get the Iowa NRCS website. And once you're on that website, you need to go to Programs. Okay. And then under Programs, there's a link for the Environmental Quality Incentives Program. If you can go to that website, there's a lot of information there about the EQIP program. It doesn't hit everything really specific and down to the real nuts and bolts. That's kind of a high-cut information. And for more information on that, you really need to be talking to that field office staff. And most of those people are very helpful and can really provide a lot of good information.
So Paul, is there anything else you'd like to add about the EQIP program that farmers need to know?
Kent, there's a couple items that people should probably be aware of. One of those is the EQIP law nationally. We're required to spend at least 60% of the funds on livestock operations. Typically in Iowa, we've been running 62 to 64% that we've been able to do that within the state of Iowa. That's a national average. So we are targeting a lot of those funds towards livestock type applications. A second thing, I really encourage people that if you're working through the process and you're trying to get some financial assistance through the EQIP program, please be patient. Each one of the applications, we rank them for the environmental benefits that application should provide. You may not rank at the top, but if you're patient, we get additional funding, we can typically get to a lot of people. It happens a lot of times where maybe you don't get funded the first go around and you get a little disappointed about it. And in the country, there's places that they don't spend all their funds, and typically in Iowa, we get those funds later on. So there's a lot of times we can fund applications if you haven't gotten funded initially. So I really stress for people to be patient with the program.
Well, on behalf of the Coalition, I'd like to thank Paul today for taking the time to visit with us about EQIP funding and how it can benefit Iowa's livestock farmers. Also, if you're a livestock farmer watching this video and you'd like more information on how today's environmental rules and regulations impact your farm, you can contact the Coalition to support Iowa's farmers at 1-800-932-2436, and you can set up a free on-farm assessment where we'll come out to your farm and visit with you and your family about these rules and regulations. If you also would like to learn more from our website, you can go out to supportfarmers.com. Thank you.